Risk of Rain 2 is fucking back, baby. I gave my opinion on the game when the latest DLC released, Seekers of the Storm, and I was quite down on the game. I felt like it was a clear downgrade more than an upgrade, when everything put in the game beforehand was the opposite. Of course, if you don't know, Risk of Rain Studio changed hands to go to the same studio that developed Borderlands, Gearbox. Gearbox has a reputation already in the gaming world. This wasn't their first rodeo taking a beloved series and making alterations. I don't really think anything was as poorly received as this, though. We can already look at the numbers on Steam. It's simple. SteamDB tells us that when the DLC released, hype was at an all-time high, with 75,000 users on the game concurrently, and I was a part of it. This was the all-time peak, even higher than when Survivors of the Void released at 70,000, and I was a part of that too. Week on week dropped immediately in a single week under 32,000 for Seekers. Survivors of the Void after a week still had over 50,000. And right now, since November, the game hasn't gone over 10k. I wouldn't be worried, but the drop is still quite worrisome, because it clearly showed that the game wasn't right on release of the DLC. And oh boy, it wasn't. I didn't even experience most of it, but the clear tempering of the code that I've seen on other videos has made it abundantly clear that the game was not ready and needed at least another month in development. But oh well, the deadline was already set and we need to match that. And lo and behold, it took a month before the game actually landed in a pretty satisfying state. At that point, I also came back to the game, and I was happy to. The game's still in my top 5 favorite games of all time, and it's definitely still Risk of Rain. That was something I said before. It didn't feel like Risk of Rain for a while. I will never say that Risk of Rain was perfect. Far from it. I mean, I've already had many bugs beforehand in the game myself, but I never found some game-breaking ones. Some collision issues, some holes in walls, but never something that could soft-lock your game. But again, that's in the past, because I'm having a blast playing Risk of Rain 2 again. The latest update for items has been a great addition. None of the new items in the low tiers felt satisfying, and now I actually feel like they all do. Breaching Fin is fun if nothing else, but it's actually also a little strong. Noxious Thorn is insanely broken for combos. You have the possibility to reach 400 bleed in record speeds. And even in the whites, no item feels bad. They all have their purpose, and I enjoy that change greatly. Of course, next year we still have more to look after. The False Sun change is definitely needed, as I've never had a challenge beating him. Then again, that may be because I'm too good. Or the fact that I wait stage 10 before going there, who knows? But anyway, he still does need a change, because no matter what form I'm in, he just doesn't feel as interesting as Mithrix. Of course, Mithrix's gimmick, it's his 4th stage. That's the most important part and the most interesting one of Mithrix. But that's also the thing that makes the fight different, and that's something you need to find also for the False Sun. I mean, other than killing him with Aurelionite. The good thing with all the changes since the DLC is that one thing didn't change. That's the fact that you can always enhance your experience with mods. I use 2 that I think are mandatory for the best experience in my opinion. Multitudes and Starstorm 2. One is for duplicating difficulty and also giving you more chests the higher the multiplication of the difficulty. Starstorm 2, though, is just a 3rd DLC, and it's insanely good. Honestly, I wouldn't have batted an eye if they reused some items from that mod in Seekers. It's that good. On top of that, it adds new enemies, an event system with storms appearing at random during stages, as well as an extra elite type called the Empyrean, which just combines all types of elites into one ultra strong enemy with a health bar like a boss. This is a concept I love, and this was already, I think, also in another Risk of Rain mod, the first game. Special Delivery. I think if I remember correctly, that there was a super elite in that game too. With that said now, I've kind of gone through everything I wanted to say, so we are going to leave this video here. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and the gameplay going on as well. This was Eclipse 5 with multitudes on level 3 and Starstorm 2 enabled, of course. It was quite a run, and I honestly thought at the beginning I'd lose it, but then arriving at stage 5, things turned out well enough. This game is actually also fully recorded on on Twitch, sorry. If you actually want to go there, that would be greatly appreciated. Maybe give me a follow, and I'll let you know also on Twitter if I ever do actually stream. With that said, if you did enjoy this video, I've got a massive playlist with over 50 videos of Risk of Rain 2. You can always check that out in the end cards on screen, as well as my latest Risk of Rain 2 video. You can also check me out on Twitch, as I said, subscribe to the channel to see more, because more will come, and please, more than anything, take care everyone.